if you take a look at a timeline, right? Let's just map out a timeline of events. And it's just like going straight down from beginning of campaign to end of campaign.
This is too much. There's more planning than I've already done.
This is
way too much.
A single line with 4 dashes through it.
It's too much.
If this is the campaign, right, then essentially what it is a railroad. And you get to a point where your players start asking, okay, what's the next plot point? What are we supposed to do next?
Right.
And that's not going to be fun for you, because then you're basically just writing a book. And it's not going to be fun for them, because they're not actually playing D&D. They're just pulling the same thread.
Yeah,
right?
They're just kind of co-writing that book.
Yeah. And so, really, if you have these 4 points, let's say you have something that kind of kicks off the campaign, there's some sort of major event, you have a villain, and if they succeed, then something major is going to happen here. And somewhere along the way, you have this offshoot idea of, like, there's a town in the middle of nowhere, and you want them to encounter werewolves because you like werewolves, and that's cool, right?
Enough.
Like, great, awesome. And then maybe later in the campaign, there's some sort of, I don't know, political intrigue where they're caught between 2 warring factions, and they need to solve something or fix something. Right.
Also something we've done in some of our private games.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, cool, we have these 4 points. And they will probably go in this order based off of level scaling and things like that.
Right.
But before we start connecting these dots, let's just figure out, like, what are the characters doing at point number 1?
At the beginning.
Yeah. And then let's cater point number 4, and then work backwards to say, like, okay, why do they care about these things?
Gotcha.
And so let me figure out who my players are going to be, what their character backstories are, and then let me start to connect the dots. Because it's like, okay, cool. If I already have these 2 factions and all of their history set up for point number 3, then, like, they're going to be disconnected. Yeah. But if a player has an idea and they're like, oh yeah, I'm a part of this merchant guild. Great, awesome. You have just created 1/2 of my conflict. I just need to figure out now who is disagreeing with the merchant guild.
Right. Okay.
And so using the players' backstories to then build the campaign, because you're still going to be the one who's drawing the line in between events.
Yeah. But
you want to give the players some sort of autonomy in helping decide what path we take. Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, if the players don't intervene, this still happens.
Right.
But we want everyone to feel invested.
Okay.
And so really, instead of the line being straight, it's really going to be more of like we're going around and up and down, and then we're gonna get to where we need to go.
Eventually getting there, yeah.
Right. And even if that means, like, okay, maybe this werewolf thing isn't fitting exactly where I thought it was going to be, so maybe I need to bump up the power level a little bit and, like, move it down the timeline a little bit. Like, I want to get there eventually. And honestly, sometimes I've had something like that where I'm like, man, it's just not fitting anywhere. Let me just save it for a different campaign.
Okay.
Because it's just not working.
It doesn't always plan out as, symmetrically as you thought, or as good as you thought. So yeah, I can. Okay.
And so really what ends up happening is, because the characters' backstories and their decisions that they make in each session are driving the car, and you're just paving the road in front of it, really you end up with all of these plot points along the way that you wouldn't have had otherwise, that are now making your story much more rich and deep and engaging, and the players want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like you said, we've only started with the 4 major, beginning, middle, end. Everything in between, you're just making up and pulling from other places, and you're just improvising as you go, because we took a, like you said, we took a right turn instead of a left, and we went 40 miles this way into this other town that we had no idea about. So, okay. Which now that I'm thinking about it in your campaigns, I'm like piecing it together, because like sitting as a player, you're just like, oh man, this is so great. This is so well thought out. And then now, like, taking a step back and looking at it, from, a future DM, I'm just like, oh, you improv'd most of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is making me feel a lot better because wholeheartedly I thought this was just like your hyper focus of like, yes, I have this entire tree of this campaign, and wherever branch you go, there's two more that could sprout off.
Right.
But now seeing that it's just a stick in the mud, I feel a lot better.
Well, I mean that's a great metaphor, right? So let's go with a tree, because this is how I plan my sessions,
Okay.
right? If we start with our main, just like session 0, session 1 plot point again, right? And great, we make this much progress down the timeline. Cool. I'm going to plan for whatever is in this area up here, right in front of it.
Okay.
But I'm also gonna just have an idea or two of like, if you take a right turn or a left turn really suddenly, there's gonna be something over here and something over here. And maybe it ends up being that like some of this session, just like a chunk gets taken out if it's an encounter or an NPC, and it's like, well, they're gonna be over here now because that's what I have planned and I don't have anything else to pull from. Or maybe it's just like a back pocket encounter of like, yeah, you guys went to a totally different town. I don't have any NPCs for you to talk to. So you get there, everything is boarded up. And there are signs everywhere that explain that there is a shelter in place, like everyone's on lockdown because of vampires on the loose, right? And it's like, great. I have now come up with a reason why there's no one for you to talk to, and still a legitimate reason for you to be here. So you guys decided to take a left turn really suddenly.
Go way over here for whatever reason, and now there's vampires.
Yeah, and so that's my emergency backup plan, right?
Okay.
For that, just for example, is vampires.
Right.
But then that means, right, so session 1 went smooth, session 2 took a left turn,
Yeah.
right? Session 3, instead of continuing to plan for this next segment of what I thought,
Yeah, like they're your linear, like, next step.
yeah, now I'm planning for the offshoot.
Right.
And so now it's like, okay, well, let's say that things go according to plan because everyone really liked the vampires. And they're like, great, we solved the vampire problem. I'm thinking ahead. Today is Wednesday. We're going to play on Friday. And they solved the vampire problem. They're probably going to want to talk to someone about it. So now now that I have time, let's create some NPCs, people that were like, oh, yeah, no, thank you. I lost my son to the vampires. Like,
yeah,
and I would like to reward you handsomely. And also, like, hey, have you heard the rumor about what's going on at such and such else? Like,
yeah, in such and suchburg over here.
Yeah, I have a cousin over there, and, like, they've been facing a similar problem to where now it's like, okay, cool, like, we got through that session, and now the players are kind of interested in going back to some of the stuff that I had planned previously. So it's like it didn't happen the session that I intended,
right?
But I just kind of kicked it down the line a little bit, and we got there eventually. And so it's like, just because an idea doesn't pan out doesn't mean it's not going to be useful either in this campaign or a different one.
Right. You can, like you're saying, you can. It's just a slight detour, and you could still, be rerouted to where you need to go. You're just taking this, kind of, instead of taking the freeway, you're just kind of taking this back country road to get to where you got to be.
Yeah. And it's even then, like, it's not like, oh man, we're gonna have to circle back to this thing. It's more so like the road itself is being moved and placed in front of you, like, because time is still moving forward, events are still moving forward, characters are still leveling up.
Yeah.
So it's like, great, like, that's when we jump back to this timeline of like, if our big bad evil guy has his plans completely uninterrupted, what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And great, like, he's growing in power this whole time. You guys decided to go fight some vampires. And so when you finally get onto that plot thread, great, he's going to be further down the road too.
Yeah, he was just working in the background, doing his own thing.
Yeah.
So
even if it's like something that isn't happening in the session, I often think like, okay, this is an important NPC that's going to come up later. Like, what are they going to be doing? I've had NPCs that aren't the bad guy too, that I'm like, what are they doing right now? Like, would this be a good time to introduce them? In our last session, I had someone in my back pocket that I was like, maybe I can introduce them, right? Ended up that the session took a turn, almost ended in a TPK, and it's like, great. That's going to wait for another time because now they aren't going to be concerned with what this NPC has to say to them. Like, one of their party members just died.
Yeah, was knocked and revived and then died.
Right.
So, yeah.
And so, like, now it's like, okay, if I'm a party member, I'm not really concerned with what's going on with this NPC. I want to know, like, what is going to play out with the dynamic of our party. We're going to have to introduce a new character into the party.
Yeah.
We are going to figure out that new dynamic. And, like, hey, we were sent out to go fight monsters. That didn't go well. So what is the overarching, like, group of people overseeing us going to do about that? Because now it's like, hey, that went really poorly. Someone died. Like, we probably shouldn't keep sending people out to fight monsters right now. We should probably address that first.
Yeah, we should probably scale this back and figure out why these monsters are so overpowered in comparison to our monster hunters.
Yeah, and some of that has to do with, like, in-character party stuff. Some of that, like, is just, like, sometimes as a DM you're going to plan an encounter that you think is balanced, and it'll swing one way or the other. And there's just, like, a number of things that you can't account for. And so, like, that is luck of the dice and player decisions.
Lack thereof.
People rolling ones or people rolling 20s.
Yeah.
And so, like, you kind of just have to be flexible with it. And so, what I have learned over the last however many years we've been doing
Too
this,
many.
Yeah.
Arguably.
Is just to be more flexible. And I'm only going to plan this much at a time. And if I have other ideas, I'll still write them down.
Okay.
But then that's just a resource for me to pull from that saves me work later.